What's up? This is Mike, I'm V, and this is the Mike and V Bodybuilding Show back at the Mecca. What's up, Mike?
What's up, buddy?
I don't know, I'm just feeling kind of weak.
I know, my legs are shaking right now. Thanks, Dusty. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good.
We've got today's guest. We got Josh Myers on the show. He lives up north in northern Arizona, so we don't necessarily get the most exposure up there. So we wanted to introduce him, bring him onto the show, let him talk about his bodybuilding, his company, and also that he's a part of the Mike and V Bodybuilding Show as well. So with no further ado, Josh Myers, come on in, bro.
What's up, big man? Good to see you.
Mike. Big man in the house, dude. Look at this guy, dude.
I know.
I just want to see the calf. Look at those bowling balls on this kid. Jesus.
Appreciate it.
You look good, dude.
Appreciate it.
So, before we get started, what was it that got you into bodybuilding? I know you're in the clothing line and everything else, but what was it?
As a kid, my dad has always been into fitness. He always had the muscle and fitness magazines laying around. Seeing the pictures of Dorian Yates and Master El Somebody, seeing these monsters, and I was into WWF wrestling too. So, here you're seeing all these guys you look up to, and all of them are carrying muscle. The superhero look is pretty much what I was wanting to go for. So, always been a fan of that, and I always had weights around me because of my dad. And sports got me into training, but I didn't start
You played football.
a little bit. Yeah, I was a linebacker in high school. But it wasn't until like around 2009, 2010 that I didn't even consider doing a bodybuilding show until a friend at the time, Josh Lawyer, was a competitor and said, dude, you need to do a show. And I said, why not? I've trained for this many years.
And how many years have you been training?
I've consistently been training as a bodybuilder for about 7 years now.
Doesn't happen overnight.
Certainly.
So your first show, let's walk us through your first show, your preparation.
Where was
How'd
it?
you
Was
do?
it here?
It was the July Open. It was my first show.
What year was this?
Back in 2010.
Okay.
First show.
I was hoping you'd say it was August or July 2009. Mike, we did that show.
It was when Brian
Vanderplant,
took the overall.
Right.
He was backstage with me. We shared the room together. Met a lot of great guys at that show. Brandon Stange.
It's that show.
It was a big show. I mean, a lot of big names who I didn't even know at the time were there, and I got my butt handed to me. I mean, first show.
It's a learning experience.
It was.
Did you do the novice class too?
I did the novice. Did horrible there. Did the open and did horrible there. So I was done after that.
Josh, you're at a disadvantage. I mean, we're down here. We're at the Mecca. We're in Phoenix. There's a lot of great gyms that we can go train at. There's a lot of other bodybuilders that we can feed off of. You're kind of up there in no man's land.
Yeah.
As Vanderploot said, you got more white-tailed deer than bodybuilders. So,
Right.
What gym do you work out? Do you work out at home, or you probably have to get pretty creative with your training?
When I work, the warehouse at work has weights. We have a squat rack, bench.
So he doesn't use a forklift. He needs to move the boxes. He gets them. That's not what you're talking about?
We have a gym, but it's been, a lot of employees have brought stuff, and recently the company's actually started buying us stuff because they care about us being more fit. When I'm off, really the only facility to train there in town is what we call the wellness center. It's the rehab center. Dumbbells up to 50 pounds.
Wow.
One bench, one squat rack.
And this is Sholo?
No, this is in Springerville.
Springerville.
It's 45 minutes east of Sholo.
That's even further.
Yeah, in the small end. And a bunch of machines that the personal physical therapists use for rehab. So that's what I do on the days off. Is I try to utilize that stuff with higher reps, tricking the muscle how I can. But
It's proven with perseverance, somebody that wants something so bad, he's getting the results, and you're obviously doing a lot of squeezing, contracting, flexing the muscle, isolating the muscle, and you get into a place like the Mecca with Metroflex, and you can isolate your biceps, you can isolate your hamstrings, but hats off to you. I mean, you're doing a great job with what you got.
Well, and I think that goes back to even today. We talked about that a little bit about passion and the will. And if you want it, you're going to make it happen one way or the other.
Right.
Which kind of like just leads me right into your clothing line. You know, this is something, and we talked about the story a little bit before we started, but share with these guys kind of what got you going and how you decided, hey, I'm going to start my own.
I love your catchphrase. So, more human than human. People, but talk about that real quick.
Well, personally, we started the company More Human Than Human to celebrate everybody not being normal, who pushes their limits. I believe the fitness industry is a great industry for it because everyone in it is living outside the box. They're pushing their limits every day. They're taking their body to that next level and really testing what they're made of. When it comes to dieting, even your off season, it's not a comfortable time. But I look up to everybody who tries to better themselves, not just the fitness industry. I don't care if you play chess, you're trying to better yourself mentally. If you're a BMX rider, if you're a skateboarder, I mean, if you're always pushing the limits and trying to better yourself in one way or another, I applaud you. I look up to
More human than human. I love it.
And that's kind of what we're about. But it started when I was an amateur, bodybuilder, just like everybody else, and I realized the sport's expensive. And I was trying to get sponsored, and because I was a no-name, no one looked at me.
It's kind of cool how we're coming together here, kind of at a ground level, looking to support bodybuilding here in Arizona and across the world too. But it's a ground level with your company, and we can give each other a platform. So it's going to be a natural fit with the Mike and B Bodybuilding Show and MHTH. So I think it'll be a good partnership for everyone to get the word out there about your clothing line and to promote the sport.
And where can we find the clothing line? I mean, where can someone order
right now?
Some of the clothes.
www.b-mhth.com. That's where we're selling everything. Look me up on Facebook. We have a MHTH Facebook page. Just type in MHTH for life. That'll bring up the Facebook page. You'll see the athletes that we're sponsoring right now, getting ready for shows.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, you take really good care of your athletes. I've been on your website and talk about giving a platform to your athletes. They got training videos on there. You're paying for their entry fees. You're buying, hooking them up with the clothing line.
Right.
And I mean, that's a lot more. I've had several sponsors, and I'm excited to be a part of what you have going on.
And I think there's something. Yeah, there's something to be said for somebody that competes and understands what I think the average person is trying to do with this sport. And again, we're trying to bring it as one. I mean, when we can all make it win-win for everybody, then the sport continues to grow, and we can take those stereotypical things that are attached with this sport and get rid of them. And I think I commend you, dude, for what you got going on, man. Because again, starting your own company and sponsoring people, there's money involved in that too. You know what I mean? And so none of this is easy, but the fact that you keep pushing forward, it's something to be said for who you are. So
we got a lot of support. I mean, we've got a great training company right now. Scotch Vincent's wife, Tana.
Yeah.
She does our printing. She really takes care of us.
They also do our shirts too. They do everybody's shirts.
Yeah.
Newest design coming out. It will be released on Monday, so you guys got shirts that aren't even released yet.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
But we do have the support. We're starting to get a bigger fan base, and I believe it's a lot of fans come from being fans of our athletes.
Right.
We didn't set out to go after the best athletes out there, but it happens when they become part of MHTH. They almost have this will to be the best.
Sure.
And
you're giving them a home to start,
right.
And hopefully, at least the vision I see here from today is that we're all going to grow together. So you're getting a guy like Mike Best on the bubble of becoming an IFBB pro, not established yet. I'm kind of at the twilight of my career, but I'm still going to do some good things. You got Jamal Newsball, who's you had Troy Tate, who just turned pro. So I mean, I think the direction you're going is very smart, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, a lot of incredible people that are just surrounding us right now. Couldn't be more thankful for it.
That's awesome, dude.
So what's next for you with bodybuilding? Are you going to get back on stage?
I will. I'm in off-season mode. I'm a fat boy right now, so July of this next year, I'll do the Arizona Open.
Okay. And Dennis James has a show too now. It's May 31st.
I heard that.
And he's just here, just walked by.
Yeah, I heard that.
So he can't do our show because he's with Flex Magazine. So Dennis James won't be on today.
But we can plug his show coming, Dennis James Classic, coming 2014.
And that might just have to be the first show.
That might be,
It might have to be. But trying to be a super heavy.
Yeah,
well, you should be.
That's the goal.
You should be. I mean, you're my height. You're 5'11". a lot thicker than me.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because it is almost a constant topic on our show is, where are you going to be? You know, and I think more of us are starting to get into that realm of, instead of looking at that number, looking at what that mirror says, and seeing where it is, you know, where we fall is where we fall, and, you know, that's where you look.
If you're looking at the scale, you're usually going to come in flat.
Where was your last, what were you in at the last,
With
last week class?
the Arizona Northern Regional that we did, I was 209, I was a heavy, and then for the Excalibur a few weeks later, I was 212, a heavy.
Oh, wow.
But I felt great.
Right.
Excalibur, I felt good. We had carbs in the system. Everything just went really well.
Sure.
But I've always wanted to be a super heavy.
Sure.
I mean,
Well, you have that bone structure for it, for sure. That's why you got those bowling balls sitting on your freaking below your knees.
Ask Calf Envy.
Exactly.
How old are you? You're a young guy.
I'm 31.
31.
Turned 31.
Wow.
And recently married.
Yeah, recently married.
Josh's wife is holding the camera for us today, so thank you very much. We appreciate
We always
that.
recruit somebody doing the
I know.
camera.
Recently married. I got 4 kids.
You got 4 kids, dude?
All under 7.
Wow.
Holy cow.
I work, 12-hour schedules, and you know, you can be a bodybuilder and have a life. I hate when
And
people say
speaking
you
of that,
can't.
I mean, to have 4 kids, have the full-time job, have the clothing line, talk about the people that help you get to even enable you to do this sport. I mean, you must, obviously
First
it's
and
your wife.
foremost, my wife, she ate contest diet food while I was eating contest diet food.
That's awesome. The support
She
is...
didn't eat the cookies and ice cream in front of me. She didn't ask to go out to eat. She asked, what do you need to eat, and made it. And she, the diet wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for her cooking, prepping my meals for work the night before. A lot of it,
It's a huge
goes to her.
sacrifice.
If you don't have that cornerstone, it's hard to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And then, my coach, Chris Havkos, who took second Detroit tape just at the Master National.
Where's Chris out of?
He's out of Colorado. He's the owner of Iron Prodigy. He pretty much took me under his wing.
Is this the videos you see on MTV, the Iron
Well,
Iron Prodigy
he's
videos?
done a couple.
Okay.
But the guy is just, he was so giving to me in the very beginning. Just wanted to help me, saw potential, I guess.
Sure.
And, I owe a lot to him because he really dialed me in, and he didn't try to take advantage
Right.
of me for his knowledge.
Right, and the greatest thing and I want to interject in that, the greatest thing I think from that is that you see somebody giving back to yourself, and then what do? In turn, you give back, dude, and that's what you're doing now, man. And that, again, it's the greatest thing. It's
Always gotta pay
you're able to
forward.
give back,
Always
That's
absolutely.
why I think it's such a good fit for us, and it's no accident that we're here together today.
Right.
So, more human than human. Josh Myers at the Mecca. Anything else you want to talk about?
Anything else in the house, Josh? You want to get out there to the people, man?
Good.
Check out Josh's website, More Human Than Human. You can hit him up on Facebook. You can hit up Mike or V if you guys have any questions or want to get in touch with them.
Peoria Ford.
Peoria Ford.
Serious Nutrition Solutions, SNS, is another sponsor. Iron Infinity, we're going to have the owner of that website coming on up next.
And
So,
More Human Than Human.
More Human. Mike Bess, Josh Myers, Vincent VJ Hils on the Mike and V Bodybuilding Show platform for all bodybuilders. Thanks for tuning in.
We're out, guys.